Hello, guys. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are watching this. Thank you for joining me today. My name is Chris, and I'm the owner of ANC Candles and Car Air Fresheners. I am very excited about today, and since it's um, 2 days before the end of this year, and I have so many things I've planned for next year concerning my business, and I'm really excited to see what next year holds. And I hope you guys have already planned something for your business for 2021 and to start rebranding if that's what you want to do, or if you want to, add some new product to your candle lines or your soap lines or your car freshener lines, whatever you want to do. I think this is the right time to start planning about them and just dive in 2021 with an optimistic mind and just be focused and do what you have to do to get your business noticed. Okay, so welcome. And if you just joining this YouTube channel, you're welcome, and please subscribe to the channel. If you join in the Facebook group, I welcome you specially as well. Come in, interact with other people and ask your questions and stuff like that, and I will be available to answer questions on the group or private messaging. All right, guys. Today I want to talk about something that a lot of people have struggled with. I have struggled with that personally myself, and that is the issue of branding. Okay, and the issue of sourcing your product. A lot of people think creating a business is just waking up in the morning and jumping on your computer, buy something, and start selling. As most of you have probably found out, it's not as easy as we thought, right? So I see a lot of people say things like, "I want to start a business. I want to grow my business into $1 million business or millions of dollar business and stuff like that," but they haven't sat down to think about the cost. They haven't sat down to think about the effort that goes into business or running a business or even starting a business. People just buy products. For example, let's use the candle making as an example, because we are all candle makers, or some of us are, and either we use that for business or we use that as a hobby. We all make candles, right? So to make a candle, you need to realize that it's more than just buying a jar, buying wax, buying fresheners. I mean, buying fragrance oil. That's what I mean, and melting them, mixing fragrance oil together and colors if you use colors, and then just hope for the best, right? And at the end of the day, you realize that it's not what you're thinking, because the wick is not in agreement with your soil wax, or your soil wax is not in agreement with your fragrance oil. Your fragrance oil is not in agreement with your wick, and your wick is not in agreement with your jar. So there is going to be a lot of testing and testing. For me, for one, when I started in 2008, I started selling in 2009. I was testing nonstop, and there weren't any Facebook group for candles then. I don't think so. There weren't a lot of YouTube videos for making candles and helping you out like that. There weren't none of that. So it was more of going to the library, picking up books, like giant books, and just looking, going on forums. They had forums on the website, on Google. Then you go to Google and you just type search, how to make candles, and why is my wick not aligning with my jar? Why is my wick smoking or sooting? Why is it mushrooming and stuff like that? Nobody was out there to give you answers. You just got to come up with your own solutions yourself. So I called Candle Wick then. That was I don't know if they still exist, Candle Wick. I think they do still exist. I called them and they told me Yeah, you just have to do a lot of testing yourself. We can't really tell you how your wick and your jars and your fragrance oil needs to come together to collaborate and form this beautiful aroma. We can't tell you that. I said, okay, so I went back and I did a lot of, testing. And some of you are doing a lot of testings right now, and you're like, holy smoke, this is crazy. I'm about to pull my hair off. I'm about to cry. I'm about to throw in the towel. I'm about to just give up. Yeah, it can it can be like that. And it's okay. It's okay to feel like that, but it's not okay to quit it yet. Okay, you got to push it. You got to push. You got to keep going. All right. So there's more to that. There's more to just making a pile of wax. Okay. Some of us, when we make candles, like my first candle was just a pile of wax. Okay. So it was a mess. But consistency, persistency, and determination gets you where you want to be. Okay. All right. Enough of that. But I just want to talk about your branding. And today I'll be showing you guys ways you can brand your product. I'll be showing you guys ways you can source your products. For example, my car fresheners, I don't physically make the cardstock. I have to buy the cardstock. Like some of us, we don't, like all of us, we don't physically make our the soil wax that we use for our candles. Some of us make our jars, who make the ceramic ones, people that make their own ceramic jars. Kudos to you guys. But majority of us, I would say 98% of us will buy our own jars online from Candle Science, from other jar places, maybe Nature's Garden. Some of us, like me, will go on Alibaba and we get our jars from there, because let's face the fact, majority of these people we buy our candles from, our candle jars from, they get it from Alibaba as well. Okay, so instead of me to go to them, I go straight to the manufacturer. Not everybody can do that, I understand. Not everybody can do that, but to set yourself apart, to set yourself ahead of the game, because this is, whether we like it or not, candle making or any business itself, it's a competition. You are in a competition because you have people out there that are trying to, outsell you. People out there that is trying to make sure they are above you. Okay, so to set yourself apart, you need to realize that you have to put yourself in a position where you have, the advantage of getting the better raw materials. Let me put it that way. Raw materials in the sense that your jars need to be on point. Your jars need to be something that it can be the envy of others. Your jars need to be something that people will look at and be like, wow, this is different. I can see my company associating our brand with this other brand. For example, if you're selling wholesale and you take your products to a company and say, hey, I would like you guys to carry my product, and this is what we do. This is what we do with our product. This is how we'll make them. And we believe it's going to be a good fit for your company or for your market. If they look at your product and they go, wow, and the first impression is terrible, like your presentation of your product, the graphics, the labeling, the logo is just terrible. No matter how good the smell of your candle is, they will not buy it. They will not take it. Okay? This is not, a video for just candles. I'm just trying to use candle as an example because majority of us, that's what we do. Okay? I use myself as an example. In 2011, I was called. I didn't even go to them. I didn't even go to them. I was called by, what's the name of this company? This was in New York, in Buffalo, New York. Something Walker. I forgot the name, but it's something Walker. When I remember the name, I'll put it there. But they called me and said they wanted me to put their label, their logo on my candles. I've never heard of that before. This was the first time I've ever heard of private label. Prior to that, I've never heard of anything like that. I was just making candles and just selling on, in my church, selling on my job, selling on like trade shows and stuff like that, and craft shows. That's what I was selling my candles. I wasn't looking into getting into big stores or whatever. But when they called me, Tony Walker is the name. So they called me and they asked me to come in with some of my products. So I came in with, guys, yo, this is so embarrassing because I didn't know much about these things, and it was an eye opener for me. You need to know how to package your product. I went there, I went, I went to this place with my, I went with my product, but I put them in a plastic bag. Oh my God, it was so embarrassing. I put them in like a Walmart plastic bag or one of those groceries plastic bags. Some of you probably laughing at me now, but that's what I did, and I didn't know any better. And I, went in there. I dressed up in my suit and stuff, and they were impressed when they saw my appearance. But when they saw the candle appearance and the package it came with, it was embarrassing. They looked at me and looked at the product and they said, "Is this the candle?" I said, "Yes." So, okay, that's what they said. And they said, tell us about your product. So I told them about the product, and they, smelled the candles. They were impressed with the smell of the candles, but my jar wasn't professional looking at all. They weren't professionally looking. They were like I don't know, the starter jar, I call them the starters. Like when you start making candles, those what they call mason jars. That's what I was using. I'm not knocking mason jars. If you have a mason jar and it's working for you, go ahead. But they looked at it and they looked at each other, and they kind of, the defeat on their faces tells everything. And they told me, okay, it smells good and this and that. And they said, we will call you back. And many of you know that when the company say we'll call you back, 95% it's a no. Okay. And that was how I realized that, there was something wrong. Your candle can be smelling the best, but your packaging can destroy your image. Your packaging can destroy your opportunity. Your packaging can destroy the opportunity you have to get that contract. Okay. So I just want to let you guys know that there are, people out there who will see your candles and will be impressed, or they will hear about your candles, they will be impressed. But when they call you to see it, you need to make sure your packaging is on point. You need to make sure you have the right jar that can appeal to them, that can drag them, that can draw them in, that can be fascinating to them. When they see it, they'll be like, wow, we've never seen anything like this. You can have great smelling candles. It's great. But if you put it online, people don't smell your candles online, right? They see your image. They see the graphics. They see your presentation. That's what they buy. Majority of people, even offline, not even online, before they buy your product, by seeing your product, they're already sold before they buy it. Sometimes I go to stores and I see something that I like because of the packaging. I'm already sold before I open the product. And that is what branding, can help you to do. That is what giving your product the look and feel can give to your product, okay? Can give to your company, can give to your name. Don't just wake up and say, okay, I have this idea, I'm going to sell candles, I'm going to sell air freshener, I'm going to sell soap, and then you just run and start making them, but you don't have plans on your packaging, you don't have plans on on how to even brand your product. Your logo needs to be in place. And you might say, why am I talking about all these things? You're going to show us how to source, right? Yes, I'm going to show you how to source. But for you to source the right product, remember this. If I tell you how to source your product right now, okay, car air fresheners, and you can use the same concept, to source for your other product, or your other things you want to do online in your business, you can use the same concept I'm going to show you and do that. But if your design, if your design, if your logo, if your packaging already is bad, what's the need of sourcing out a product? You're going to waste money. Okay? So that's why I'm emphasizing now on the look of your product, on the look of your design. I've told people in the past that my product in the beginning, they were terrible to look at, but the smell is beautiful. The smell is good. The smell is good. But again, they said image is everything, right? So you want to bring your products to a place where people will see them and will buy them before they even smell them. Okay? So there's something that happened, to me in Buffalo. I was selling my product, and this is the point I want to bring out. And I think a lot of you have been in this position before. Some of you are in this position right now, and some of you will be going through this in the near future. The reason I say this is because family and friends are great. Okay? Family and friends are great people to have in your life. They are great support system to have in your life. And I love that about family and friends. When it comes to business, your candles, your air fresheners, your soap, when it comes to that, and you start selling only to your immediate family or your friends, and these are the only people that buy your product, you need to sit down and think. It's not a bad thing for them to buy your product. Money is money. That's what I tell people. It's not a bad thing for them to buy your product, but it is limiting you. Some of them will be biased. Your product might be terrible and they will tell you it's great. Okay? Your product might not work well, but they'll tell you, oh, it's amazing. I've been there, okay? I used to think my candles were the bomb. I used to think they were the best thing after sliced bread. I used to think they were great and stuff like that. This was when I started. I didn't even do much testing. It was as a result of the feedback I received that got me doing more testing. Okay, because I would sell my candles to my friends in the church. I know church people, most of them would just say, yeah, it's great and stuff. I will sell my candles to them and they won't say anything. When I ask them, hey, how was the candle? Oh, it smells good, Chris, you're doing a good job and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, great, I'm doing a good job. But when I burn that same candle, I'll make like a batch of candles and I'll sell some, I'll keep some. And the same batch that I will sell to my friends, I will burn some of them and the wick will just quench so fast. Sometimes it will just burn through. Like I used to make pillar candles a lot, the pillar ones. It will just burn through the entire candle and the entire candle will just melt into a pool in 3 minutes or less than that. And I'm like, oh my God, like what's going on? Am I giving this? Am I selling this to people? And so one day I summoned the courage to ask one of my friends. I said, hey, how was that candle? Oh, it was great. I said, please be honest to me. Be honest with me. Tell me the truth. And she said, Chris, I didn't want to hurt your feelings, but that candle didn't even burn at all. I lit it up and it just went off. I kept lighting it. It would keep going. It just kept going off. I'm like, oh, why didn't you tell me? Said, because I didn't want to hurt your feelings. And then one of them said, oh, Chris, I almost burned down my apartment. I said, oh, this is not a laughing matter, but I said, holy smokes, like, what happened? He said, the thing just went, like the fire just came from nowhere. I'm like, wow. So I went back to the drawing board. I stopped selling, went back to the drawing board, and I started doing more research about candles, about how to make the right candles, about how the wick and the wax and the soil wax, or the blend of paraffin and soil, and the the temperature, pouring temperature, and the melting temperature and everything. I started learning about everything. And I realized that, okay, there is more to making candles than just pulling a pile of wax that smells good. Okay? All right. So why did I say this? I'm saying this is because some of you only sell to friends and family, and it's not a bad thing, but let them give you honest report. Let them give you honest feedback. If your candle is bad, let them tell you it's bad. Don't let them say it's good, then you go out and you sell to people you don't know, and then they destroy your business, they destroy your brand, they destroy your image. And it's very hard to come back when a brand has been destroyed, except to go and you rebrand again. Okay? So I'm giving you these pointers. For some of you, you need to hear this. And I'm sorry if it hurts your feelings, but it's business. If you want your business to grow in 2021, you need to take this very seriously. Go beyond friends and family. Go beyond that. If a stranger buys your candles or your air freshener that you don't know this person from anywhere, and then they come back and reorder, that's a great news for you. That's a great news for your business. Honestly, that's a great news for your business. So don't take this lightly. Don't take this, like someone is criticizing you. No, I'm trying to help as many as I can. 2020 was rough for everybody. Everybody was rough for everybody. But some people still made crazy amount of sales. Branding is important. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to jump on my computer. Enough of the branding and enough of the image and stuff. But I'm going to jump on my computer and I'll show you guys where to go. Some of you already know where to go. I will show you guys what to do and how to contact these people and source your car air fresheners and other products that you want to do. But we'll be talking today more about car air fresheners. All right, join me on my computer. Thank you, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.